What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? It is Dr. Jamar Montgomery of drjamarmontgomery.com. And I'm here with a different message. Today, I'm going to be talking about progress and loss. Today, I just, my aunt just passed away earlier today. And she's had some health complications within the last couple months. And yeah, I got the call today. You know, I've been talking with my family for, better part of the day. And and you know what? It's when you're a man, let me just put it like this. There's a feeling of loss and grief that I have right now. And things hit you. This is happening at a time where I have a lot of things that I need to get done. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things to be focused on. And you experience things like this. You experience death in the family. You experience loss. And it's like, yo, what do I do? What do I do? As a man, you know that things need to get done, and that things need to get done, and that the day has to go on. The challenge is how do you give your own self space and time for grief? How do you give yourself space and time to experience that loss? And for any person that is maybe experienced a death in the family or experiencing loss, it's okay. It's okay to feel the way that you feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to find yourself breaking down. It's okay. The thing is that in spite of that, you still got to get up. And I know for men, when we experience loss, we don't know who to turn to. We don't know who to turn to. Hopefully you have somebody that's in your corner that you can cry on. And particularly it's difficult, being the man of the leader of the family, because in all actuality, I'm the only Myers that is left. I'm the only boy in the family, on that side of the family, and leading a group of women. And you have to be strong for those women, all while you're experiencing sadness, all while you're experiencing grief, all while you're experiencing loss. A couple years ago, well, not a couple years ago, probably almost 10 years ago now, crazy. About 10 years ago, I was in law school, and I would go and visit my great aunt. There's another aunt, my Aunt Edie. I would go visit her. She lived in Austin, Texas. I was in school in Baton Rouge, and I'd take that 6-hour drive. Yeah, it was either 4 or 6-hour drive from Austin, Texas, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana to Austin, Texas, to go visit her. And this particular day, she had some health complications. My mom and my sister had flown to Texas to kind of take care of her. But I was the only person that she really really responded to, because I was always there. Like literally, I was there maybe once or twice out the month. And this is while I'm in law school. So I'm taking 15 units, 18 units, going to go visit her. And this particular day, I was getting ready to leave. It was the week before finals, or the weekend before finals. And I go there, I'm on my way there, and it was such a peaceful day. And I get there, I put my stuff down, and I asked my mom, I said, where's Aunt Edie? She said, oh, she passed a couple hours ago. We didn't want to tell you why you were on the road and upset you. And I said, I appreciate that. And it was like, I started crying, and I started laughing, and my mom couldn't understand why she was laughing. My mom couldn't understand why I was laughing, and I said I knew that she was going to pull some stuff like this, and it was her passing before I was able to get there, right? I still had finals. I still had finals that I had to go through. I still had finals that I needed to uh, finish and take. So I got through finals week, did everything I need to do. I did well in my classes that particular semester. And it was at the end of it, I was like, now finally I can grieve. Now finally I can allow myself to feel all of the sadness, all of the loss, all of the grief. And I think as a lot of times as men, we don't allow ourselves to feel that. We don't allow ourselves to feel what we're going through. We don't want to feel it because it's uncomfortable. It's foreign to us. We don't understand it. We don't like where our mind goes. We don't like how it feels. And so instead of feeling, we suppress it and we push it away, only for it to resurface in other ways. I say this to every man, that the moment that you start being comfortable with you having emotions and with you having feelings, there's a level of freedom there. There's freedom from judgment, because people are going to think whatever they're going to think. So what? People are either going to be there for you, be indifferent, or not be there for you. Feel what you need to feel. The challenge that a lot of men get into is that because we don't want to feel these things, we turn to other things as a way of coping. Some of us might turn to alcohol. Some of us might turn to sex. Some of us might turn to drugs. Some of us might turn to work. Right? We find other ways of expressing our grief, to the point that we don't allow ourselves to even feel our grief, to feel that loss. And then we find ourselves one day just breaking down and crying. The dichotomy of being a man, being emotional, is that oftentimes if you're a husband, it's knowing that in spite of your grief, in spite of your loss, that you don't allow that to break you down. You find yourself having to be strong for others. You find yourself having to display strength. You find yourself having to display strength when you don't feel strong. You don't feel strong. I was said a prayer last night. How do you know that you're on the brink of something? How do you know you're on the brink of something great? You have to know the difference between things falling apart and things falling in place. How do you know you're on the brink of something great? Loose. Seems like everything around you just starts to go to trash. You know, it feels like things are being taken from you. But those things that are being taken from you, are they being taken from you, or is that a sacrifice that's going on so that you can get to a higher level? They went after my law license. They went after my relationship with my daughter. Went after relationship with my family. It's like, what is on the horizon for me? And when you're going through things like that, your greatest superpower is vision and optimism. And it can be very difficult to be optimistic in times of loss. It's rough, y'all. It's rough. When you feel like everything is just going to hell in a handbasket, when you feel like things are being taken from you, is the moment that you really should be looking towards God, getting closer to him, because that's where you're getting everything from in the first place. It's like sometimes you don't want to. You have to recognize that's an attack of the enemy. That the enemy wants you as far away from God as possible. As far away from your source as possible. As far away from your healer, from your helper, from your help, from your ever-present help. He wants you as far away from that as possible so that you can feel isolated. And when you feel isolated, then it's easier to steal from you. It's easier to kill you, and it's easier to destroy you. Man. But I appreciate everybody for showing up. Thank you, Brick City, for all the likes. Thank you, No One Loves, for all the likes. I appreciate it. But yeah, loss. Loss is a rough one. It means losing your old life. It means losing your old friends. It means losing your old job. It means losing all things of old so that you can come into the things of new. And that's a difficult process, because loss is having to let go of something that you didn't want to let go of. Or you weren't prepared to let go of.